Welcome to Making Persuasion a Reality. This PowerPoint will teach you how to use AIDA and WIIFY to become a persuasive ninja master. Are you ready? Let's get started. Okay, so if you think back to the 5 things you need to know to be a ninja master: knowing your enemy, choosing your weapon, planning your attack, executing with grace, and not screwing up. These are very important in your persuasive message. Critical thinking is going to encompass your audience, your purpose, and your context. You're going to be framing using strategy. Now, up until this point, we've been using the direct method approach. So you clearly are stating your purpose for writing or speaking to your audience in your first few sentences. With the indirect persuasive message approach, we use the AIDA approach. So we're going to align with the audience in the beginning, but we don't tell them the direct benefit or the bottom line or why we're writing until later on in the message. This is going to affect the way that you deliver your facts using logic and reasoning and your structural coherence, because you're not going to be using that direct method approach. Information is going to look the same, and error interference as well. So let's take a look at the indirect method approach. The A in AIDA stands for alignment. So we're going to align with a contextual introduction that tells the reader we understand the context of what's happening and we frame for alignment. So rather than just saying, I'm writing to tell you about this and this is how it's going to benefit you, you want to form some kind of common goal with the reader. You want to show that you guys have something similar. Then you move on to the information, the facts, the evidence, the data from the reader's point of view. Then you provide the bottom line or the direct benefit to the reader with a key point of what you're trying to persuade them to do and how they will benefit from doing it. And finally, you call to action. That's when you say, this is what I want you to do, and you outline the next steps in order for them to achieve it. Making that easy for them to do, whether it's providing your contact information or providing them with the next steps of information. So let me give you a little bit more background on AIDA. AIDA, in your introduction, you're striving for alignment. You want to align with the reader. You want to highlight any established relationship you have with the reader and present a common goal. So you show them that you guys have the same thing in mind. You want the same goals, and show the reader that you each benefit from things that are the same. Then in the body, you use information to support your viewpoint, showing the reader from their benefits, their wants, their desires, and their needs, how what you're going to propose can benefit them. Then in the conclusion, you want to show action, calling them to action and making it convenient for the reader to make the next step. Now, WIIFY, what's in it for you, is extremely important in persuasive messages. It's always been important, and we've told you when we are looking for that direct message approach, we want to know the bottom line on top. How and why should I be reading this? How is it going to benefit me? Well, unless you have in the readers and the audience's mind, if you take their interests to heart, you can persuade them. But if you don't, you can't, because you can't tell them that you want them to do something because it's going to benefit you. You want them to do something because it's going to benefit them. Yes, of course, it can benefit you as well, but you don't want to use or highlight those aspects. You want to highlight how it can benefit the audience to further persuade them to think about doing it because they want to do it. So let me give you an example. I'm going to bring a new case study into the situation. So DHL shipping. They used to be a shipper here in the United States as well as internationally. It's a competitor of FedEx and UPS. Well, they decided that they were going to close their shipping business within the United States, which means they weren't going to do intra-national shipping anymore. So you couldn't ship from, say, California to Boston or Boston to New Mexico. Within the United States, they're closing that business, and they just decided to highlight their international shipping business, which means that you could still ship from the U.S. to another country, but just not within the United States. So as you can imagine, this could cause some confusion when they're making this decision. They don't want to lose their customers here in the U.S. that are shipping abroad a lot, but they want to make it easy for them to understand. So, based on that situation, let's look at a persuasive prompt in order to help you move through persuasion. So in this situation, with DHL's decision to terminate its U.S. domestic service, Michelle Nadim, who is the Vice President of Corporate Communication and Public Affairs, is anticipating a good deal of concern from current DHL customers who use the company to make cross-border shipments. If the majorities of these customers take their international business to UPS or FedEx, the loss of revenue could have grave consequences for an already struggling U.S. operation. These customers need to be assured about the viability of the company and its ability to effectively and efficiently deliver internationally. So Nadim has approached you because of your excellent writing skills, and you've been demonstrating as an intern for DHL, and she's asked that you draft a sample of the communication under her signature to be sent to one of DHL's largest customers, Dell Computer. So take a minute to think about the audience and the purpose and the context of this situation. So the audience is one of DHL's largest customers who's currently using DHL. The purpose of this message is to assure them that you can still ship internationally, that you're still the best shipper out there. And the context is they may be confused about what's going on, and there's some big changes going on in DHL. So we want to highlight those changes and how they're positively going to impact the shipping for Dell computers. So let's take a look at an example message. Here it is, and I'm going to go through it step by step for you, going through AIDA. How did this writer align with their audience? What information did they provide? What direct benefit did they give to the audience, and how did they call the audience to action? So let's take a look at the introduction, of course the most important part, because it's the first thing the reader's going to read. Thinking about alignment. This is how this reader does this. They say, "You have been our top customer for many years. We understand your desire for consistency and efficiency in your shipping needs. I'm glad to inform you of new changes taking place at DHL, which will radically improve your international shipping service. DHL is closing its domestic operations within the United States to put more emphasis on our customers' international shipping needs. This change will allow us to improve our efficiency and promote more international development and innovation to enhance your shipping needs." So as you can see, they're taking the approach of showing them that established relationship. You've been our top customer for many years. We understand you. We have a common goal here. Our goal is to get your products to your customers efficiently and organized, and that's your goal as well. So you're setting the stage for that alignment, that things that we are aligned. We want the same thing. We've wanted the same thing for years. We have your interest at heart. So then we move on to information and direct benefit. So we've set the stage, we've aligned, the reader understands that we have their needs at heart. And then you say, you're going to hit on the points, those 7 R's, hitting on the levers to drill down and show them that why you could benefit them. The relationship that we've had over the years entails an understanding that cannot be met by any other shipping providers. Your employees and customers have grown to recognize our services and have familiarized themselves with our faces. We understand your organization and the shipping logistics in all aspects of your business. So they're hitting on the point that we have an established relationship and it's easy for you because of this established relationship. We are recognized by you and your customers, and that's beneficial to you. Now, in this next paragraph, I really want you to take into account emphasizing benefits over features. So in the second paragraph, it says, the second sentence of the second paragraph says, DHL can successfully deliver your products in over 220 countries around the world. That's showing a benefit to the reader, as opposed to saying DHL delivers products in 220 countries, which is a feature. The first sentence is actually showing them that there's a benefit to the reader because DHL can successfully deliver your products in those 220 countries, instead of just saying we deliver to 220 countries. Yes, the reader could make the connection that because you deliver to 220 countries, you could in fact deliver their products to that many, but we don't want to make it hard for the reader. We want them to understand easily that, oh, they can deliver my products to 220 countries. Then the direct benefit, they're listing all this information and benefits to you, the reader. But if you're the reader, that last sentence, continuing your operations with DHL is most beneficial for you and your customers. That's the direct benefit. That's summing up all the information that they've given you. So you're thinking, okay, I have established relationship with this company. They've been delivering my products successfully. They can deliver them to 220 countries. Of course I'm going to stay with them. So what do I need to do next? That's where action comes into play. And when you call to action, you are actually telling the reader to do something. It's not like an informational message where you're inviting them. You're not saying, if you have any more questions, please feel free to contact me. In a persuasive message, you have to call to some type of action. Whether that action is to do something, to say something, to change your behavior in a certain way, you want to know that they're doing that, so you're telling them to do something. It's typically, please call me, please email me, please do something. Excuse me. So in this instance, it's please call or email me to set up a meeting to discuss how these changes will encourage more growth and improvements to your business. Then the next steps and the convenience for the reader is providing, of course, your email address and your phone number in order for them to do so. And then leaving with, I look forward to speaking with you soon. That's telling them they call you, how to call you, and that you're looking forward to that call. So there's no doubt in the reader's mind that they need to do something, that you're asking them to do something. And that's how you call to action. So think about your persuasive message. You've been asked to align with your boss. Who's your boss? Mr. Dellerton. What do you know about Mr. Dellerton? What's important to him? What are his wants, his needs, his desires? If he's going to send the CSR team forward, he wants to know that it's going to be beneficial to him in the future. That sending this team on will help motivate them. That sending this team on will give him a group of interns that will be more willing and able to tackle the tasks that he wants them to. That by sending on a successful team, he can be recognized by the top members of Solutions Care. Remember, your purpose in here is to get him to say, oh, although they haven't scored the necessary